So we need to let our spreadsheet know where the data is. Our data is in an Access database. It's in a folder on our hard drive. It's currently holding our data for us. As you can see, in this lesson, we'll be enabling an incredibly powerful magic of Excel. This is where our spreadsheet will connect to our librarian that'll do incredible things for us. Although incredible and powerful, ironically, this is also very simple. And actually in this lesson, it may look as if it's doing absolutely nothing at all. As you know, our Access database is our librarian. Our spreadsheet will be trusting it to keep our data for us neatly organized and give our spreadsheet what it wants when it wants it. By now you have placed the database Rockstars in a folder anywhere on your hard drive. Our spreadsheet has no idea where it is, or even that we want it to talk to it. So we need to tell our spreadsheet where it is, and when we want it to talk to it, it needs to first connect to it. This is like Excel calling its old friend Access on the phone. So that's our mission in this lesson. Let's now open up a brand spanking new Excel spreadsheet. By now you should have this developer tab on the ribbon, right? Let's now get to the Visual Basic Editor, the IDE. Remember, I'll be calling it the IDE. It's easier to say. Visual Basic Editor, Integrated Development Environment, IDE, save a lot of time. This is going to be our main playground throughout this course. As you've seen in the little bit of VBA that we did earlier, our code will be in a module, so right-click here and create our first module. This is where we copy and paste the blocks of code I have given you, and also we'll write some new code here as well. Now to start, let's sprinkle a little bit of organization. We're going to rename our module. We do that in the Properties window. If you don't see it, you need to open it here. View, Properties window. Let's rename it mConnection, with a small m in front. Why the M? There's a reason, but it's too early to get sidetracked with that detail. Alright, are we ready for some magic? Let's copy and paste our special connection code into this module. Copy the code from the text file 010connection.txt and paste it here. This might look like rocket science at this stage, but it isn't. But you don't need to know all of it ever to get this working. What you need to know I'll explain at the right time, but there are two things that you do need to know at this stage. 1. Our spreadsheet has no idea where our database is, right? We need to tell it. So, let's get the path to the database. We can copy it from Windows Explorer like this, and paste it here. The database is called rockstars.accdb. And 2, this is where the hidden magic of Excel is. The key that makes everything we're going to do possible. Now go to the Tools tab and select References. Now scroll down to this item, Microsoft ActiveX Data Objects 6.1. If you don't see 6.1, just select the latest one. Now we're set. If you've never run any VBA code before, it's dead simple. Now, we've done some of this in the little bit of VBA. So, this is a bit of a recap. This is a procedure. Procedures are like small recipes. This is where we give Excel step-by-step instructions to carry out. You can easily recognize one because it starts with sub and ends with end sub. But you knew that already. To run a procedure, we can just place the cursor anywhere inside the procedure, and either click the Run button or hit F5. It's like when a magician says abracadabra, and a rabbit comes out of a hat. If we've done everything correctly so far, nothing should happen. That means our magic has worked. Yes, this is one case where nothing is good. No fireworks, no confetti, but trust me, something magical just happened. Our spreadsheet and our database are now having a silent conversation. It's like making an invisible but powerful phone call. But instead, if you get an error, check the path to the database. That's the only thing we have entered by hand, isn't it? Okay, so what we've done is, we gave our spreadsheet a treasure map to find our database. This, you'll remember, is our librarian, the person who is storing and safeguarding our data. This is how we let Excel know where our librarian is hiding. If we gave it the wrong map, it won't find it, okay? If it did work, good, but let's prove to ourselves that it did work. Let's change the database path a little. Now it should not connect, right? See? We get an error. We'll learn later on how to make these messages more friendly, but for now this will do. But what was that we did when we selected an item from here? Let's understand that a bit more. Let's untick that and run our connection procedure again. See, we get an error. Let's not forget to tick it back before we continue. When we get to the real cool stuff later on, you will see that everything that you see that's different to what you know as the amazing power of Excel out there, this magic stuff is all in that component, or rather is all because of that component. Like I said, it comes already built in, we simply need to switch it on like we have just done. Next up, let's copy and paste the code from 020 connection close, then run it. Imagine our spreadsheet is saying goodbye on our phone call, short and sweet, but super important for keeping our data adventures neat and tidy. We don't want to leave people hanging on the line once we end the conversation, do we? And that's our coding journey in this lesson. You've done an amazing job diving into the basics of Excel, VBA, and database connections. That's simple. This is central to connecting people and processes with Excel. We made Excel call our librarian, in this case an Access database, and then hang up without saying anything. Not something I'd recommend in real life. I mean, don't call people and not say anything. Unless you're weird. The most important thing we learned today is that ActiveX Data Objects Component, or ADO for short, the hidden magic of Excel, or rather the key to the hidden magic of Excel. You'll see as we go through this course, this is more powerful than Power Query, arguably the most powerful thing to happen in Excel in recent years, and not anything as complicated. You'll see that in the next episode. So, stay tuned, we'll take the next step in our thrilling adventures. We go where no spreadsheet has gone before. I'll see you there.